Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Have you ever been involved in a debate or in a conversation, a contradictory conversation, an argument with someone where that person used some arguments, some justifications that really made you laugh and you feel embarrassed for their embarrassment? Well, it happened to me. And in this case, we have the West, or the manipulators of the West, building the future leader of Ukraine. Well, I know in a democracy and a free world that we are told that we live in, which is a mirage, like the French fighter jet, a mirage. We have the case of General Zaluzhny. We were told that, in a free world, each country has its own destiny. Their people vote democratically in open and free elections. Their leaders, and their leaders will compete fairly by trying to persuade their citizens with a right to vote for them so he can represent them and fulfill their aspirations. Remember, they're not our leaders. They are our employees. We hire them to fix our leaking pipe in the basement. He's not your leader. He's the guy that you're going to pay to fix something for you. That's the way I would like you to look from now on at our elected officials. They are just public servants. That's what they are. They serve you. We pick you to fix something for you while you're busy doing something else. They're not in charge of you. So, in this case, we have Zelensky. Zelensky, it seems like he has to go. The West decided that the country of Ukraine's destiny is not linked to Zelensky anymore, and they already picked a new leader for Ukraine. Now, if you call this freedom and democracy, you can call it freedom of democracy, new Western way. So yes, they are building General Zaluzhny. They took him out from ICE, not ICE, you know what I mean, the guys who are looking for the, okay, but ICE from London as the Ukrainian ambassador to London. They make him big. He is the future leader, and they are building him as a attractive leader for a strata, one specific strata of the populations. I would say women. So, let me show you. I have this article from New Voice of Ukraine. Valeriy Zaluzhny stars in Vogue Ukraine for the first time and writes a column. Now, Zaluzhny, he's a general. He should be a tough guy. He should be a guy who doesn't put up with nonsense. You know what I mean? He's a guy who's not interested in fashion. It doesn't mean that he could not, but I think he's more serious and deep than that. But unfortunately, he's like Yeltsin right now. Do you remember when Yeltsin had to prostitute himself in front of the Russian voters with his dance with those rock stars? Remember his awkward dance? He didn't know how to dance on that rap, whatever that music was. Do you remember them? That was awkward. It was very demeaning for Yeltsin, I think. He had to prostitute himself because that was the Western style of promoting yourself to the public, to persuade the public. You show you are their people. So you show in a brothel, you show they're their people. You show in a jail or in a prison, you show them you're their people. You show in a mafia scheme, you show, so you get their votes supposedly. Why don't you cut the crap and cut the corners and get straight to the bottom line, which is who counts the vote? That's what matters. You can fucking vote however you want. So if you remember Yeltsin, now is Zaluzhny's turn. His advisors, who I have a feeling that the Zaluzhny's campaign advisors and PR people are from United States of America, from Great Britain. They are Westerners, not Ukrainians. They might be asked about certain cultural trends in order to use Zaluzhny to be liked by the Ukrainians, like what kind of clothes they wear, what's their favorite color, what is their national poet. Oh, well, okay, is that okay? We're gonna do this. Taras Shevchenko, by the way. So anyway, so here he is in Vogue, and he's really like a fish in my net out of water. Here it is. They try to present him as a fashion something. Well, to me personally, I'm a man. I like fashion, to be honest with you. I like when I see a man, a decent something. He's not in the his something is not right for me. For me, is not right. And here is Valeriy Zaluzhny, former general, becoming Western's prostitute. That's why I would call him. There you go. Oh, let me think about, like my picture, my, you know what I mean, my channel's picture, thoughtful and full of charm. All right, that's exactly how Mr. Zaluzhny, right, doesn't look right. Remember, this is the best they could ever put all about Zaluzhny. The best. And they thought it's good for the women to like him. Look at him, right there, which is checking his balls over there, make sure they're still attached. That's why they keep that's why, hey ladies, that's why we keep our hands in our pockets, checking them. Are they still there? Clong, glong, glong, glong. Or ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Or fus, fus, fus. That means they left you. Okay, so here is Zaluzhny, prostituted for the Western public, for the Ukrainian public, and so on. Unfortunately, if you remember at the cradle of democracy, if you want, Athens, the people were showing up with a toga or something like the Romans later, right? Barely dressed, and they were standing in front of everybody with their hair however, and so on, and they were trying to persuade people with logic, with evidence, with the brain, and with the art of rhetoric. They were trying to persuade you. Nowadays, that took a really, really back seat somewhere way behind. You can't see it anymore. It's just phrases like, let's do the right thing, change, things like this. And always pointing the finger to the baboons in the crowd as if you know them. Remember, each and every American politician is like, yes, they don't know them. They just pretend. All right, that's what it is. They're their people. They know everybody. No, they don't. They live in their own gated community areas, my friends. So we have Zaluzhny here, who has to jump through the hoops in order to take care of business. Now, this is embarrassing. Embarrassing when you have to prostitute yourself like that. I'm pretty sure Zelensky did not feel right. Zaluzhny. Zelensky will be okay in this kind of circumstance because he's a bazaar guy. But Zaluzhny seems uncomfortable. I would like to feel that way. He might be a criminal or not, but I think he feels uncomfortable with these kind of things. But that's the like a tertiary issue. The primary issue is who is promoting Zaluzhny. Why is Zaluzhny promoted? Is he promoted by the Ukrainian people or by the Western interests? I would claim that by the Western interests. That tells me he is their man, which I have actually zero doubt that Zaluzhny, as Zelensky, is the West boy. The problem is, you always change the face, but the shit is the same. The same. You're gonna change Zaluzhny with Zelensky, Zelensky with Zaluzhny, Zhmyhal with Reznikov. They're the same garbage. Like right now in Canada, for instance. You change, let's say, that infantile, whatever is Trudeau, with this new guy, a banker. It's not who is supposedly in charge, which, as I said, they're not in charge. They're public servants. The line continues. It's a different face lying to us. You see, Trump, he's just picked Biden's administration, not Biden himself. Biden administration's baton while running, pack, and he's gonna run forward. And the next one is gonna get it. A different face will get a baton and continue the same run. The run is set by other people. And in this case, the race is not set by the Ukrainian people, but by foreign interests. The same interests who have the Ukrainian nation being decimated by their brothers, cousins, however you want to call them, the Russians. That's what it is. So if you can show me tomorrow Zelensky, Zaluzhny pressing, 3,000 pounds on the bench, I don't give a shit. He's still going to be promoted by the same guys, which do not care for Ukrainian nation's interest. They care for their interest. That's why they have no problem having the Ukrainians fighting their war against the Russians. So they are preparing, they are grooming Zaluzhny to become the new leader. I always said Zaluzhny was taken away from Ukraine so he doesn't get clubbed by Zelensky, put to ice in London for good keeping, and now he's taken away from Naftalin and thrown back in the public with a new face. He was a general. What do generals do? They give orders. Sometimes those orders are criminal. I would like to know what kind of orders Zaluzhny gave. But hey, in self-defense like Israel, you can do whatever you want, it seems like. You can't, you say? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out if Zaluzhny will end up alive to run for the presidency of the Ukrainian people. But regardless, whomever is going to be running is not going to be the Ukrainian people's man or woman. He's going to be the same interests boy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.